Hearing the appraiser's statements made her sick. Apparently, she underestimated that doorstep. It wasn't as simple as it seemed. She followed his instructions, curious about the mysterious doorstep's interior. She realized she had made her biggest mistake when she found the note. It was simply a doorstep to her. She had seen it many times around her grandma's house and thought it was cute, but she never gave it any attention. After her grandma died, this doorstep seemed like one of many old house items that would be useless. She would later regret dismissing it. Alice, a Baton Rouge, Louisiana girl, is the story's protagonist. Losing her grandmother had devastated her. Alice and her grandma had a close relationship since childhood. Alice missed her like a best friend. Her grandmother was a confidant, supporter, and hope. She was the kindest, most honest woman she had ever met. Alice thought so. Alice inherited her grandma's house after her death. She had many fond memories of that house. Hers now. When she first went to the house to tidy up, inventory her grandma's stuff, and decide what to do with it, nostalgia hit her like a truck. So much was there. She remembered almost all of them with her grandma. She relived childhood and teen memories as she went through her grandma's furniture and belongings. She browsed those items and reminisced. She saw it suddenly. She saw her grandmother's bronze statue. It depicted Greek goddess Thetis, Nereus' daughter. If you like my videos, don't forget to like or subscribe. Thanks in advance. Her grandmother always liked ancient history and mythology. She told Alice stories about ancient gods and heroes for hours. Nope. She gave her that interest. Alice earned a BA in classics. As a recent graduate, she struggled to find work with her degree. She wasn't sorry. She loved it. However, sometimes she looked at her bank balance and wondered if she should have studied something else on the side. She had no idea her luck would change. Alice decided to get rid of most of it, even though it was sentimental. Since she planned to live there, she would rather redecorate. Alice's grandma's things would turn the house into a museum that reminded her of her. However, history was history. She sold most of her old stuff. She advertised several, including the bronze doorstep, online. She received a message after several days. A national buyer wanted the doorstep. A mysterious buyer contacted Alice minutes after she listed it for $15. After he wired her money, Alice agreed to send it. She reconsidered. What if the doorstep was worth more? Given its early interest, it was possible. She chose an appraiser. Alice visited a nearby antiques shop. She gave the appraiser the doorstep story. He spent time inspecting every corner. He found it eventually. Alice missed something about the doorstep. He showed her the blacklight lantern. The doorstep concealed a compartment. Alice never saw it. She thought that was just a doorstep, not realizing her grandmother might have stored something there. The appraiser asked her to open it. Accepted. Her heart raced. That old Thetis statue, inside. Watts Alice and the appraiser found two rolled papers inside the doorstep, not hidden treasure. One looked older than the other. One was brownish and the other yellowish, likely from Alice's grandma's youth. Aged. The appraiser gave Alice them. Alice unrolled the yellow paper first. Its contents shocked her. Her grandmother's old letter. Alice had never heard of the woman who signed it. The letter indicated that her grandma had dated her before marrying Alice's grandfather. Alice was floored. She never knew that about her grandma. This reshaped her perception of her. Nope. The brownish note needed checking. After unrolling it, she couldn't read it. She gave it to the appraiser for help. After reading it, he told her the doorstep was worth more than Alice thought. A famous 19th century French sculptor created the doorstep statue. The note also stated that it had won first prize in a major French sculpture contest in 1857. Alice's doorstep was appraised at $30,000. She almost sold it for $15. Alice took the doorstep and letters home, thanking the appraiser. She contemplated a lot. Alice was at the mercy of the professional appraiser. She had some unsettling thoughts. She hoped the appraiser would reveal the doorstep's value. Not being would be a problem. Alice worried most about not knowing what to do. Would she know if he was telling the truth if he offered to buy it? If he was upfront and it was valuable, how should she proceed? Alice doubted. Stress was rising. Alice had heard many stories of people finding real treasures in antiques. She had also heard many stories about people being swindled. Alice worried about the statue's value beyond its potential pricelessness. Her next dilemma was harder. Since her grandma hid the intimate notes inside the statue, she wondered if it meant more to her. Alice worried about giving it away if grandma wanted it to be a family heirloom. Alice's inheritance, however, had been helpful. She needed more money to be comfortable. Finding a valuable piece was exciting because her degree hadn't paid off. One way to find out. The appraiser examined the object extensively. He compared the note and the doorstep after studying it. Alice grew impatient with expectation. Surely his scrutiny meant something. Was she foolish like other treasure hunters? The appraiser even consulted his bagged notes. Alice became more anxious as his expression deepened in thought. After an eternity, put everything down and turned to Alice. "Okay, here's what you have," he said. It turns out that the doorstep was really a little statue. More importantly, according to the appraiser, it was crafted by one of the most famous French sculptors of the 19th century. This news alone excited Alice. Historical art captivated her. The appraiser continued. The appraiser was animated now. He was no longer the stuffy, severe man he had been. Alice could tell he enjoyed this work and finding items like these. His enthusiasm raised Alice's expectations. Alice became more intrigued and excited by the statue as the appraiser spoke. He identified the piece, sculptor, and period. Alice was captivated by everything. She felt like she was bonding with it. She wondered if only she felt this way. After learning the sculpture's true story, Alice wondered if her grandmother did too. Her gut told her no. She mostly used it as a doorstep. She realized now that it was probably just another trinket she'd picked up over the years and had no idea of its value. What made it valuable? Appraiser said note revealed truth. The piece won first prize in a major French sculpture contest in 1857. The statue was over 100 years old. Alice attentively followed the appraiser. Best news yet. Even the appraiser's initial assessment valued the piece. Alice was astonished. It was imprisoned for years. It was surprising that grandma had history in her home. The appraiser valued it at $30,000. This stunned and thrilled Alice. She was relieved to realize she'd almost sold it for $15. Appraiser Alice thanked. His honesty relieved her. It was clear that he was a lover of antiques and not just someone who was out to enrich himself from the ignorance of others. Now what? Alice consulted the appraiser. He advised her that he could put her in touch with the right people and arrange a sale that would be to her benefit. She thanked him again and took the doorstep and 2 letters home to dream. Her grandma gave her a new start as well as fond memories. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.